autumn, when trees change color. Now this is a phenomenon that takes place only in temperate species of deciduous trees. It's a phenomenon, this change in leaf coloration, which occurs in response to changing day length and to cool nights. And during this time, in late summer and fall, the leaves of a tree begin to change in a metabolic way. They start to produce less and less chlorophyll, the green pigment in the leaf, and because there's less and less chlorophyll, the other pigments in the leaf, the yellows and reds and oranges, begin to show through. So as the fall progresses, you gradually get the greens dying away and the other pigments of the leaves showing through. And this is a way that the plant has of gradually shutting down and going dormant for winter. Because during this time period of late summer and fall, what we have is all the nutrients and metabolites within the leaf are retransported back out of that leaf and back down to the roots where they stay during winter. And the following year, all these nutrients are pumped back up into the tree. It's October 23rd, 1990 today, and it's been a good fall so far. And here we are in downtown Missoula looking at some shrubs. And this is a common landscape shrub in Missoula. It's called the burning bush. Euonymus alata. It's a species name, very common in the nurseries around town. You see why it's called the burning bush? In October, this turns a brilliant scarlet red. A very attractive landscape plant. We'll take a look through this bed now, and what we see is a clump here of 4 viburnums. Actually a couple more up front here. And these have a brilliant red scarlet autumn color. Very nice landscape shrub, quite a bit larger than the burning bush, capable of reaching maybe 12 feet. On this block in Missoula we have oak trees. Scarlet oak, red oak, as you see in the oaks, the predominant color is yellow, brown. The scarlet oak being an exception in its red coloration. You see the beginning of the red coloration in the scarlet oak. Again, more commonly, it is yellows, oranges, and browns which characterize the fall coloration of oaks. This large specimen oak tree is beginning to show its fall coloration. This oak is in the black oak group. It will show the type of coloration which occurs in this group. When the leaves initially start to lose their green color, they turn this coppery, bronzy, orangey brown. And progressively then, through the fall and into early winter, you will see most of the black oak group, which includes black oak, red oak, pin oak, and others, gradually assume a more and more brown color. Some trees, such as this northern Catalpa, rather than changing color, generally end up getting frozen. And this tree shows a combination of green and black-brown leaves which have essentially just been frozen. This catalpas, as well as many oaks and some maples, fail to show colors because they do not change quick enough to escape the frost and the very cold, freezing weather. A closer look at these leaves shows you how they've essentially been frozen. You see the long seed pods of the catalpa. This tree, then, not one grown for its fall color. Essentially, a tree that's grown for its spectacular early summer flowers. Here we see the spectacular orange suffused with red of the sugar maple. In the early part of the autumn color change, sugar maples are almost red. And as the season progresses, the yellows become more and more predominant. Here you see a sugar maple that's still retained much of its orange and reddish coloration. Again, the spectacular multiple color reds, oranges, and yellows. One cultivar of Norway maple takes on an unusual coppery color in the fall, and this is the Schwedler Norway maple, which summer coloration has a purplish cast to the leaves. Early spring, the leaves unfold in a very coppery purple color. It's quite a common and sought after tree in Missoula for good reason. It's nice and hardy. It's good colors, spring, summer, and fall. Here in Bonner Park, we can start to see some of the subtle differences between the colors, the shades, the autumn foliage of the various trees in Missoula. The Norway maples, seen in this shot, color up a rich, dark yellow with a shade of bronze, a hint of bronze. Compare this to the silver maple. You see a large silver maple right in the center of your screen here. This is a yellow too, but it's a washed out, whitish, papery yellow. You can readily see here the subtle difference in yellow between these two very common types of maple. The red maple, reason named the red maple, quite obvious from this picture. Beautiful young tree. Of course, the value of our street trees in Missoula is difficult to appraise, but at fall, one is perhaps more aware of these beautiful trees and the enrichment they add to our lives than at any other time in the year. Now, mountain ash take on a crimson, purpley orange, and they are late to change. Side by side on the same street, two mountain ash, European mountain ash, one almost hardly turned, and the other in peak color, probably due to genetic differences as well as moisture, availability of moisture in the soil. You see the second specimen, the furthest distant. It's just beautiful with brilliant crimsons and reds and purples. From a distance, certainly this stunning yellow tree looks a little different from the majority of trees, which turn a yellow in Missoula. However, upon closer inspection of this tree, what's different about this tree, with its clear yellow foliage, is that it's exceedingly rare in Missoula. This is a shagbark hickory, and although still a young specimen, it is starting to show the shaggy strips of bark which characterize mature specimens of the species. The larch, one of the few deciduous coniferous trees, is a beautiful yellow in fall.
Seems like everything's late this year.
What have we here? 'Tis another burning bush, Euonymus alata, a nice large specimen. Resplendent. The beautiful vermilion, scarlet, wine-colored leaves of this common Missoula shrub, native to China, the Peking cotoneaster, spectacular shrub, very hardy. Here you see it growing in its unclipped, unsheared form. This shrub is often used as a clipped formal hedge.